You know what I love? Shooting thumbnails. Just kidding. It takes forever. It's an art that no one pays attention to and never really matters. Unless you mess it up, then everyone notices and you're hated by literally everybody. Anyway, that's beside the point. Today we are going to be setting up some Rib Bones Pal Peralta lime greens. I got these for... It's not want to focus. I got these for $7.95 at my local skate shop, World Boards, in Bozeman, Montana. I will put a link to them in the description below. These are 14.5 inches, and $7.95 is a great price considering the fact that on Amazon I found them for $8.51. Despite that not being a huge difference, it's always amazing to support your local skate shop. Now before I get started, again, all the music is going to be in the description below. Alright, I got my welcome board here. First thing we're going to do is open up our rails. Now, I feel like my local skate shop is convinced that I have like this weird, unholy addiction to green. I only ever buy green things there. First thing I bought there were Green Day, or not Green Day, but green Spitfire stickers. Second thing I got there was this Illuminati board, which is completely and utterly green. Even the bushings are green as hell. But that's beside the point. Is between green, yellow, and red. I went with the green just because, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of yellow, and I wanted something bright, you know? If I were to choose, like if I were to say, hey, I want this color to be there, I would have probably got electric blue, because electric blue is just a spicy looking color. Anyway, the rails come with, you know, your stereotypical logo, you know, nothing that you wouldn't expect, 14.5 Pal Peralta, as well as very simple installation instructions. Now, installing this is, like I said, incredibly simple. Step 1, place skateboard on stable surface, truck side up. Step 2, clamp or hold rib bones in desired location. Position to avoid wheel bite. If you do not position to avoid wheel bite, well, you've only got about an inch of room there with the rails. Now with these, from what I've seen, you don't want them too far apart, otherwise they won't be very responsive whatsoever. But this is all, you know, personal preference. You don't want them too close together, otherwise it'll feel like you're skating on an ice skate, which you don't necessarily want if you're grinding down stairs or skating pools. I believe it was Steve Caballero. He puts his rails bent inward like that. He says something about having them wide at the ends gives him the stability he needs, but having it narrow in the middle just allows him to lock into the coping for shred menar. Pool coping is incredibly frightening. I've seen so many people go top to bottom and just mess up their day. Alright, we have number 8 panhead screws. These come with the rails, as well as 5-hole rails. Now you can use a skate tool. Well, I don't think I have the patience to do it with a skate tool because of how utterly tiny these screws are. It does fit perfectly. But I will be using a tiny, tiny miniature, adorable screwdriver. I always have a teeny tiny adorable little screwdriver because is useful for a lot of things, like installing rails. Anyway. Alright, let's see. Looks like I wheel by it right underneath. Say, what, 1.5 inches? That looks just about perfect. Now, I've never done this before, so we're gonna see how well this works out. Apparently, you just screw it straight into the board. That looks good. Alright, that was a bit easier than I thought it was going to be. Turn the camera off real quick so you don't have to witness the painful process of me figuring out exactly how hard I have to push these in. And the answer is you gotta push them in pretty damn hard. You really gotta put your weight into it. But at the same time, much easier than I would have anticipated, considering the fact that I am screwing straight into the bottom of the deck. Alright, so tip, don't use a screwdriver that doesn't fit, otherwise it'll slip out or you will completely ruin all of your screws. Now, a little tip when using your skate tool. It's going to be a pain. I would add more to that, but YouTube sort of hates swearing. Anyway, how to get this done. If you do it with just a skate tool, if you do it with just this, your bar will not end up being flush with the bottom of your board. Now what you gotta do is prop your board up against something, the edge of a table. It is much easier if your board is vertical rather than if it's flat like this. Flat like this is perfect for a regular screwdriver. But what you do is you put your screw in like this. Now only do this when it's too hard to go any further. You put pressure on it with one hand, holding it down. You get the fat end of your T-tool and you use it like a handle. That gives you much more leverage, allowing you to make the bolts flush with your skateboard. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I'll admit the only way I figured that out was through about a half hour of struggling and crying, and throwing up, and wishing I would die. But yeah, other than that, figured it out. It's not that bad. And when you're doing these rails, you want to make sure that you do outside, middle, inside. That will keep your rail from sort of getting too squished and not falling flush against your board. Because if it doesn't fall flush against your board and there's grooves in the rail, you'll feel that when you're riding. And trust me, it blows. Now, not only do I prefer Palo Alto, but apparently it's also Bobcat approved. Now, not the company Bobcat, but this dude is, in fact, half Bobcat. I mean, look at him. This thing is adorable. Now, question you might ask yourself, do I want to ride bones, rails, or do I want to ride pigs? Because pigs, from what I've seen on the internet, people tend to prefer. Honestly, they are exactly the same. If you get like large pig rails, they're a little bit bigger, but in the end it honestly doesn't make a difference. I'd say the biggest difference is that these are $3 cheaper, which when it comes to rails is a huge difference. That's like comparing a $20 skateboard to a $26, $27 skateboard that are exactly the same. The only difference is the company. And when you're doing these screws in the bottom of your rail, you got to make sure that they are flush with the rail. If they stick out, they will stop your board, you will fall, and you will regret every decision you've ever made in life. Now, I don't know if there's any way to train cats, but I just spent the last 15 minutes looking for this last little tiny screw because Bob decided he would take the bag that the screws came in. And I had to follow him. And when I finally got him, he had the bag in his mouth, took it out, and the screw wasn't in there anymore. So I had to go back. Stop it! Why do cats have a weird obsession with just knocking stuff over to knock it over? If you know, please tell me in the comments below, because I have no clue. And if there's any way to stop it, and you tell me, and it works, I will send you exactly $5 in the mail. That's a lot coming from me, okay? I have pretty much no money. $8 for these rails was like 4 years of savings for me, okay? So, $5, it's like $1 billion to Bill Gates. But, yeah. That's the board. This has been Harmony Lifestyle. Peace.